Finally, the storm moving in. Right now seeing rain in the valley, snow in the mountains, but there is a point that rain will change over to snow. I'll tell you when.
We just really need to make sure that these people are staying warm.
We'll show you how Utah County is keeping its most vulnerable safe during the cold winter months ahead.
After a restaurant fire in Sandy that could have been a lot worse than what it was, the owners tell me they have a lot to be grateful for this holiday season.
How a Santa Quinn mother who lost her child is doing what she can to help create positivity and light for other families, and how you can help.
Live from Utah's news leader, Fox 13 News at 9 starts right now.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Thanksgiving night. I'm Kelly Chapman. Bob does have the night off. Earlier today, the skies above the Wasatch Front were hazy from inversion. You can see here in this video. Things, though, have changed, and they will continue to do so. We're already seeing some snowfall in the higher elevations. This is from a UDOT camera in Little Cottonwood Canyon earlier tonight. You can see that snow coming down. Let's get you right over to Utah's Weather Authority meteorologist Breck Bolton with a look at what's to come with this big storm, Breck.
Now it's starting to push in. It kind of took a few extra hours before we started getting into the action, but now as we take a look at satellite radar, we're seeing that precipitation falling now even towards southwestern Utah. Light showers, St. George up near Cedar City, some snow in Bryce Canyon. The big focus here across northern Utah, a little bit more widespread and heavier. Let's take a look as we go first in Utah County. We are seeing a lot of green, so rain showers. We're seeing wet roads from Point of the Mountain through Provo, even through Spanish Fork. As we turn towards areas such as Salt Lake Valley, look at the darker green. It's heavier rain along I-15, traveling along I-80 as you make your way over towards Tooele County. And again, that transition zone where you move up in the higher elevations, we are seeing that snow falling and starting to see heavier showers all the way from Tremonton down through Bountiful, and even seeing some snow in Sardine Canyon, where we do have a winter storm warning in effect, where we're looking at some decent amounts of snow, particularly as we look at Sardine Canyon and Logan Canyon as well. That's why we have that area in pink. As we're looking at other locations with a little less snow accumulation for winter weather advisories that will be in place throughout most of the mountains and Wasatch back down through the mountains of central and southern Utah here for tonight through tomorrow as well. And to add injury to insult here, we're kicking up the winds. We've got some strong easterly winds that are going to be kicking in here in the overnight hours for Cache Valley, Weber, and Davis County, particularly near the Canes. We can see wind gusts of excess of 55 miles per hour, as this will be in effect until mid-morning. Now, we've got temperatures dropping. As they are dropping, we're going to quickly see a transition from rain to snow. But how much snow will fall and how long will it last? We'll answer that coming up in just a few minutes.
And that's a great question, Breck. Thanks so much. Let's take a live look right now. These are the roads from the Fox 13 Big O Tires Weather Beast. Wow, kind of caught me off guard. Breck, this is right at the base of Big Cottonwood Canyon. We're told traction laws are now in place for both Big and Little Cottonwood Canyon. You could see why. This is just the beginning. So much more on the way. And with people hitting the roads for holiday travel during this storm that's finally made its way to Utah, Fox 13 News reporter Lucy Nelson tells us how to stay safe and also plan ahead.
I'm just excited to catch up with the cousins and aunts and uncles.
Scott Frazier is heading home from Sugar House to Oakley to see his family for Thanksgiving. Driving there right before a winter storm swirls through Utah and staying the night just in case.
No drinking or driving, just staying up there, visiting, and just trying to stay warm. We don't want to be outside while it's like having a big storm.
Sergeant Cameron Roden with Utah Highway Patrol says this is the type of plan Utahns should be thinking about this holiday weekend.
Knowing that there is an approaching storm, so making plans ahead of time to make sure if they've been out traveling that they can get home safely, but then just adjust your driving behaviors to whatever the conditions are.
He says they see an increase in the number of crashes with holiday travel, and that escalates with stormy weather.
Just use extra caution. Make sure you don't let any distractions creep in. Fatigue tends to be an issue too during these long travel times, but also just make sure everybody in your vehicle's buckled up, because that's the easiest thing we can do to make sure that everybody stays safe.
John Gleason with the Utah Department Department of Transportation has tips for drivers as well as we brace for the first winter storm of the season.
You want to make sure that you're giving yourself plenty of room to brake between you and the vehicle ahead of you, and just slow it down. It doesn't make any sense on a day where we're expecting rain and snow to drive at freeway speeds.
Both departments will have patrols and crews monitoring the roads. As you enjoy time at home and off work for the holiday, Gleason has a simple request to keep in mind.
I'd like to ask people to remember those that are out there making our roads safe, and all of the emergency responders that are out there doing everything that they can so that we can enjoy our day.
In Salt Lake City, Lucy Nelson, Fox 13 News, Utah.
And be careful out there. While many of us are relaxing right now at home after a big Thanksgiving meal, some of our community members are just trying to find a warm spot, a dry place to spend the night. Fox 13 News reporter Jenna Bree tells us how Utah County is now taking action to keep its most vulnerable alive this winter.
I think it's really an important piece of our community to make sure that people have a place to be at night when it's really cold.
For the first time in Utah County history, people experiencing homelessness will have a place to sleep on the coldest nights of winter.
We saw a lot more homeless, especially in cars, which kind of shows that people are working, it's just that they can't afford housing.
Utah lawmakers passed a bill in the last legislative session requiring larger counties to keep people warm when temperatures drop below freezing.
This year, we have to do Code Blue response, which just says that when the temperature gets below 15 or below, then shelter has to be made available by the county. And then next year, it has to be made available regardless of weather from October to April.
Kenna Matthews says multiple churches in Provo, Orem, and Springville are participating. At least one warming center will open their doors from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
This isn't just going to be somewhere where they go and hang out for the evening. We're hopefully to be able to provide resources and things like that to set some of these people on a good trajectory towards self-sufficiency, getting off the street.
Community Action Services is recruiting volunteers for 3-hour shifts. They are also hoping to collect hundreds of donated blankets so they can open the warming centers in December.
It's really just to keep people alive and keep people warm. We've had several people over the years pass away due to homelessness, and so that's what we're trying to prevent, is people from dying in the cold.
In Provo, Jenna Bree, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Community Action Services is also collecting donations for its food bank, which they say is running extremely low right now. If you have any leftover cans or packaged food from perhaps your Thanksgiving, you can take it to their pantry located at 1815 South Freedom Boulevard in Provo. New at 9, owners of one restaurant in Sandy are picking up the pieces after their grill caught fire. Luckily, no one was hurt, but they are thankful for all the help that's making it possible for them to hopefully reopen as soon as tomorrow. Fox 13 News reporter Maithili Gubi shares what happened.
It was pretty bad, how it looked and everything. Even though there wasn't a lot of property damage, the fire did some, especially the smoke did a lot here.
An accessory on the grill at Libertango Steakhouse in Sandy caught fire early Wednesday morning. Even though the damage was contained to one area, the restaurant closed on Wednesday while they cleaned up and figured things out. They were off on Thursday for Thanksgiving anyway. They're still able to use the grill, but without the automation system that started the fire.
Fire broke out under our grill. So our grill is made for the fire, but we have all of the firewood stored beneath. And so that firewood ignited the control box down there. It had an issue and it ignited that wood, and then it just burned and burned.
So George and Mike tell me that even before they found out about the fire, the restaurant's fire suppression system notified Sandy City, so fire crews were here around 3 a.m. Wednesday morning. The owners say this fire could have been a lot worse than what it was, so they have a lot to be thankful for this holiday season.
Super grateful first off for Sandy City Fire for their amazing response and for just handling that and taking care of the fire so that it didn't spread.
Here's video of fire crews when they first responded to the scene and battled the blaze. Mike and George thought they may have to be shut down for months as restoration and repairs continue, but instead their community stepped in.
A lot of people, friends, family, people that were passing by and they wanted to help, and what we were able to do in one day or half a day, it was amazing, right? The restaurant right now doesn't look like I had a substantial fire like that. So I'm very grateful for everybody that came and helped and made Libertango possible again.
George's family started Libertango in 2005 in Brazil. He wanted to bring his culture here, so opened this restaurant last December.
It means everything to me, right? So it's very important for me to see the restaurant up and running again.
They hope to continue serving customers starting Friday and are grateful for the people that made this happen.
You can count on your community to help, and I was overwhelmed by the help that we got.
In Sandy, I am Maithili Gopi, Fox 13 News, Utah.
A show of support and hope wrapped up in a cuddly bear. The story that inspired the giving. Still to come. And a big discovery in outer space with ties to Utah. We'll explain when we come back. Stick with us.
Well, welcome back. This is not a welcome sight. The showers now moving through the Wasatch Front as we look at a UDOT traffic camera. I-15 heading southbound, Point of the Mountain. It's rain right now. You move through the benches though, a mixture of rain and snow, definitely snow through some of the canyons. When does the snow reach the valleys and how much are we expecting as we head into tomorrow? I'll let you know coming up.
Oh, big Thanksgiving Day storm. Thanks, Breck. Every year around the holidays, a Utah mother honors her son who passed away unexpectedly by collecting hundreds of stuffed animals to donate to children going through hard times. Fox 13 News reporter Darian DeBrule shows us how donated stuffed animals have helped comfort children all across the state and how former recipients are now helping to remember the 2-year-old boy who inspired it all.
This is just the first of the stuffed animals that will fill Cassie Kramer's living room for the next couple weeks.
Oh, let's just see if we can get a couple erupted into. Let's see if we can get 500.
Kramer was inspired to collect hundreds of stuffed animals for the nonprofit Bears for Ben after her daughter received a Peppa Pig with a special Bears for Ben tag when she was hospitalized with RSV in 2017.
It let me know that others were thinking of and praying for my daughter before I even knew she needed it, because this meant people were putting in efforts, around November, December, and donated this because it was already there at the hospital.
We've donated to most of the hospitals in Utah County, some in Salt Lake. We've done highway patrol so that they can give them out if they're on accident calls where there's children involved and they need to be comforted. We've done it for ambulance teams.
Bears for Ben has positively impacted hundreds of children and families since they started collecting stuffed animals in 2015 in honor of Amanda Nemelka's 2-year-old twin son, Ben, who passed away unexpectedly the year prior.
At the time, I was part of a Utah County twin group, and so I'd met some really good friends through that. And after his passing, they had put together these teddy bears like this with a little poem to give my other 3 children as a comfort for them.
December 1st will mark 9 years since Ben's passing, and every year his mom and former Bears for Ben recipients like Cassie look forward to remembering Ben through the donations they collect.
This donation and collection each year has been a positive way to deal with a really hard time in our life, and that I would encourage people to seek ways to do the same in their own lives when they've had a hardship.
Knowing that there might just be another mom or another dad who needs to know that we're all thinking of and praying for their child is the best part, in my opinion.
The holiday season is the biggest time of year for donations for Bears for Ben. So if you want to donate, we'll have more information on how you can on our website, fox13now.com. In Santa Quinn, I'm Darian DeBrule, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Sweet story there. A big discovery in space made from right here in Utah. Scientists with the U and the University of Tokyo have detected the second most powerful cosmic ray ever observed using their telescope array stations in Utah's West Desert. Now, the discovery was made back in 2021, but the research was just published today in the journal Science. Cosmic rays are charged particles that travel through space and rain down on Earth constantly, but high energy ones are rare. The most powerful is the so-called "oh my God" particle. Also detected by University of Utah scientists back in 1991. It would be more Utah if we called it the "oh my heck" particle. We'd really kind of claim it if we termed it that. But okay, well, have you looked out your window tonight? The storm will help a few more ski resorts open. You may have rain right now, maybe snow. If not, it could be coming your way. Brighton Resort today announced its opening day will be Saturday. The resort's Bone Zone Park has already been open for skiers and boarders willing to hike up and help maintain it. But Saturday, the Majestic Chairlift will start spinning. Brighton is still working on installing its new and improved Crest lift, so terrain right now will, of course, still be limited. Alta Ski Area is also opening this Saturday, Snowbird next Thursday. Then Deer Valley, Nordic Valley, and Sundance open the following Saturday on December 2nd. Those are the opening dates right now on your screen. Of course, they are just, kind of licking their lips, not from the pie, but for the snow.
They want it. They want to open
yeah.
up. Because last year we were skiing and a lot of the terrain was already open.
Before Thanksgiving,
Correct.
I remember that.
Right.
It just kept coming and coming.
Right.
So we're a couple days late, but here we are tonight.
Here we are, having a little bit more confidence because the snow is falling, accumulating up through the canyons, Big and Little Cottonwood Canyon. We've been getting into the action as we're showing UDOT traffic camera as you make your move through Big Cottonwood Canyon, where we are forecasting for the mountains across northern Utah that in some locations 6 to 12 inches. That's helping out with the situation, especially trying to open up here on this Saturday. So good news, this storm, a snow producer both for the mountains and the valleys. We just haven't seen it yet. Here's a look right now in Salt Lake City downtown. You can see the roads are wet. Rain is falling. And again, we're seeing the rain along the Wasatch Front, but temperatures are dropping. About 20 minutes ago, we were at 40 degrees, now at 38. Usually about 37, 38 degrees, we start to see snow falling. Yeah, it doesn't have to be freezing. It has to be freezing above as that snow falls, but definitely temperatures will be dropping below freezing here and across northern Utah. That transition from rain to snow will be happening here shortly. From the National Weather Service, a lot of winter storm warning and winter weather advisories in place. A lot more purple where winter weather advisories indicate that we see the snow but less accumulation, but across Logan Canyon, Sardine Canyon, more significant snow. That's why there's going to be a winter storm warning in effect. I mentioned that wind advisory. We turn the flow easterly, coming down though with these cold winds and air. We'll see that downslope wind event come tomorrow morning. Actually, we'll get things going a little bit tonight, especially across Cache County. Let's take a look at our future models here, looking at the winds where, again, throughout Cache Valley, once we reach midnight, winds start picking up that easterly flow near the canyons, some strong wind gusts. And then we start to get in the mix with Weber and Davis County between Ogden down through Bountiful. And this is between 5, 6, 7 a.m. Strong wind gusts in excess of 55 miles per hour. Kind of short-lived, though. Once we get to about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, it's not going to be much of an issue. So that's when the wind advisory will expire. Now let's talk about the snow. Here's some of the projected amounts here on a range, northern and southern Wasatch Mountains. Again, 6 to 12 inches, central mountains, 5 to 10 inches. This storm a little bit more beneficial than previously forecasted for the central mountains. This is good news for areas, of course, trying to build up that snowpack. Southwest Wyoming, 4 to 8 inches. In addition, we'll have some strong winds through southwest Wyoming, so we can see some blowing snow. Valleys, not a lot. A trace at most 2 inches, except as we look towards Utah County through central Utah, where you might squeak out a little bit more. But again, we're getting into the action right now. Starting to see some showers near Zion National Park over towards Bryce Canyon, but you can see here along the Wasatch Front, a lot of green. That is rain. Darker green, a little bit more light to moderate rainfall. Looks like from Tremont, Ogden, Bountiful through the Salt Lake Valley. But there is, again, starting to see a little bit more blue, as we'll see that all transition to blue, which means snow. As we look at the models here, that's what we're going to be looking at for the overnight hours. Let's take a look where it starts filling in northern through central Utah. The snow will continue on in the overnight hours. Now, the ground is warm. We're going to definitely see snow sticking on the grassy areas. Starting to at least up in the benches, that snow may be sticking to the roads a little bit. Throughout the valleys, they'll just provide for some wet roads. Really, canyon travel will be a big issue. Spanish Fort Canyon, moving through central Utah through some of those mountain passes. As you can see, we start to see the showers in effect from areas such as Fillmore down through Beaver, then turning towards eastern Utah come tomorrow. Now, as the flow turns northerly, we'll continue to see snow on and off again through Friday here across northern Utah. And we start kicking into lake effect snow come tomorrow night. You see a little bit more blue in Tooele County again as we go from Friday night through Saturday morning. But the showers for most spots do taper off as the storm will be exiting late Friday night. Saturday, we'll have maybe a few isolated mountain showers, and then Sunday, we're clearing out quite nicely. But it's going to be cold, and we're going to see some patchy fog, especially in the overnight hours. Now for Salt Lake City, looking ahead, again, that rain changing into snow, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, as the snow will continue on here in the overnight hours, and you'll be waking up to some snow here across northern through central Utah. Overnight lows, again, dipping down near freezing for many spots in the 20s through central Utah tomorrow. Look at these highs, 30s. For Salt Lake City, Provo as well, even central Utah, many spots in the 30s. We'll keep this active weather going. We're for St. George. You got rain tomorrow, then you're clearing out. It's cool, but back into the 50s. Looks like you get an extended break from the storms thereafter. Northern Utah, just tomorrow we've got the snow. Saturday we clear out, but it's going to be cold. And then the inversion sets back up as we'll see more haze Wednesday and Thursday. So an extended break from the storms. We want to see more snow. We get it tonight, and be careful on the roads, especially tomorrow morning.
There's a lot going on, Breck. You packed it in. Thanks so much. In world news tonight, some Israeli families are now just a day away from being reunited with loved ones abducted by Hamas. We have the very latest on the hostage deal, also temporary ceasefire in Gaza. That's still to come. The hostage deal between Israel and Hamas is set to begin tomorrow morning. 13 hostages will be released by Hamas to start, with a total of 50 to be freed over the course of 4 days. That's according to officials in Qatar. Now, Israel has now notified the families of the hostages that will be let go. Part of the deal also includes a 4-day pause in fighting, but Israel's defense minister expects there to be at least 2 more months of fighting with Hamas after that. Residents in central Kentucky can now return to their homes this Thanksgiving night after being forced to evacuate following a train derailment that released hazardous toxins into the air there. This happened just north of Livingston. That's a small city about an hour south of Lexington on Wednesday afternoon. At least 16 freight cars came off the tracks. 2 of them were carrying molten sulfur, according to a statement from the train's operator, which is CSX. The crash then sparked a fire. When mixed with flames, molten sulfur releases sulfur dioxide. That's a gas with a strong scent that can cause irritation to the eyes, nose, and throat.
We understand it's Thanksgiving. We understand it's difficult for anybody to leave their home, but their safety is our top priority.
CSX said in a statement that specialized equipment is still monitoring the air quality in that area. A profitable business just over the border in West Wendover, Nevada, but illegal here in Utah. We'll show you how much business is booming and how it impacts the tiny town. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Hopefully you got your fill of turkey, stuffing, and pie, and you may get your fill of this stuff here pretty soon. Live look right now from the roads from our Fox 13 Big O Tires Weather Beast. This is snowing. It's happening in Big Cottonwood Canyon right now. Our photographer Rick's out there taking it slow. Doesn't look like there's too many people out on the roads right now. Bragg. Yeah, we've been giving everyone the warning to slow down. It could be slick. He's heading westbound. Get back on the freeway. He'll head over to Parley's. We'll let you know what's happening there. And we're going to talk with Breck in just a few minutes to get your latest weather forecast. It's definitely a different one than we've had over the past few days. So recreational cannabis sales have been big business in Nevada, and it's impacting one community on the Utah-Nevada border. Fox 13 News political reporter Ben Winslow has more.
Business appears to be going strong at West Wendover's lone cannabis dispensary. Deep Roots Harvest does see a steady stream of customers.
We get them from all over the place, Idaho, Nevada, Utah. They like to come visit us from all over.
Recreational cannabis has been legal in Nevada since 2016. Deep Roots Harvest opened in West Wendover in 2019. When it opened, there was some anxiety over it, but West Wendover's mayor says,
I really think it's gone great. I mean, I haven't heard that many complaints about it. occasionally about the smell of cannabis because it's very distinctive, and you know, it might be in the parking lots here or there. But I've never heard anything really bad about it. And they are good community partners.
In fact, it's been an economic boon to West Wendover. Nevada collects an excise tax on cannabis that last year brought in $133 million. The Department of Taxation says last year Nevada had $848 million in taxable sales from dispensaries statewide. Since 2019, the taxes that West Wendover gets from cannabis sales have totaled just over $3 million. That's significant for a community of about 5,000 that relies on people who make a run for the border for gambling, concerts, and other vices.
That is a huge help to these organizations that they help out.
West Wendover Mayor J.C. Holmes says they've been able to fund community projects with the money.
2 years into it, we've given $114,000 to the school. Some of the projects have been playground equipment, benches for the football fields, security cameras, football equipment.
Deep Roots Harvest also donates on its own to community causes, like $15,000 recently to the local food pantry.
We do donations to like our senior center. We're doing donations to the Air Base, kind of getting them to do like a refurbishment on an Army Jeep. So just giving to the community.
While recreational cannabis is legal in Nevada, it remains illegal in Utah. Still, the Highway Patrol says it can only make traffic stops based on probable cause for things like impairment.
I have not heard of that many incidences that have happened. I mean, there are occasional pullovers on I-80 that, you know, a DUI or something like that, which they shouldn't be doing anyways.
And Deep Roots manager says they do warn customers of the law.
It is legal in Nevada, but you cannot travel over the state lines. You know, you gotta make sure you're following all the regulations for Nevada, no public consumption.
In West Wendover, Nevada, Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.
We are learning more about a stabbing in Weber County earlier this month. The sheriff's office identified the suspect as 28-year-old Arturo Medina Morera. They say he stabbed his wife in the neck with a broken piece of glass during an argument at their West Haven home in front of their juvenile son. The deputies arrested Medina Morera that very same day. They say he was heavily intoxicated, non-compliant, and had cut himself. He's charged with attempted murder, domestic violence in the presence of a child, and criminal mischief. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, free support is available 24/7. Call 1-800-897-5465. You can also find resources from the Utah Domestic Violence Coalition on their website, udvc.org. Utah Tech women's basketball coach J.D. Gustin will remain at the helm following an investigation into allegations of misconduct, but he will be suspended for 2 games. Our content partners at the Salt Lake Tribune report current and former athletes accused him of bullying, physical intimidation, sexual misconduct, and retaliation. Utah Tech did not share their findings from the third-party investigation, but said they are addressing them. From giving to those in need to turkey trots and so much more, we want to show you how Utahns celebrated Thanksgiving today. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us on this holiday. It's giving back on this Thanksgiving. For many of you, volunteers prepared 1,000 meals to bring to Utahns who needed one. The Salvation Army put together the event in partnership with the University of Utah's executive chef, Peter Hodgson. Chef Peter and his team cooked the turkey and, of course, all the fixings, all those yummy sides. More than 200 volunteers put together the meals and then delivered them to families all around the Salt Lake Valley.
Being able to have a Thanksgiving dinner is really a privilege, and I didn't do anything to deserve it. So I know that there are others that don't share this privilege, and I love being able to give back and help everyone enjoy the same Thanksgiving meal that I get to enjoy.
Just love seeing all those volunteers, people lending a helping hand there. If you missed the chance to give back today, the Salvation Army's annual Red Kettle Holiday Campaign is already underway. You can get involved with that. A big crowd showed up this morning in Sandy to help fight hunger all around the Beehive State. The Utah Food Bank says 3,100 people registered for their 18th annual Utah Human Race Fun Run. Many folks got into the holiday spirit by sporting Thanksgiving-themed costumes as well. Look at that little turkey right there. I always love the turkey hats, though. Proceeds from the event go to the Utah Food Bank and help in its mission of ensuring Utahns have food to eat.
You know, across the state of Utah, there's about 317,000 people. 1 in 10 are children. So we're serious about the job we do. We like to be sure we're able to help them year-round, not just during the holidays. And we help people statewide. So it's nice to start the holidays with a giving thought in mind, but we ask people to do that year-round. And this year, when you're doing your holiday preparations and you buy for your family, please buy additional food for another family as well, as we need food, time, and money. That'll help us.
Well, Jeanette Bott there, speaking of Fox 13 News anchor April Baker. If you did not participate in this year's race but still would like to give back, visit utahfoodbank.org. They do a lot of good throughout our state. I always love this every year. The animals at Utah's Hogle Zoo celebrated Thanksgiving as well. There was no turkey feast, however, but there were papier-mâché turkey legs to set the scene with meat stuffed inside. See, there was some meat. Also some pumpkin to chomp on or stomp on, I guess, depending on the animal. One of the zookeepers tells us these are forms of enrichment for the animals.
Enrichment is basically anything that we can give them or show them that's going to promote a natural behavior. So it's keeping them healthy, keeping them psychologically and physically challenged. New things to smell, new things to play with, new things to bust open, use their claws for.
The Feast with the Beast event is a tradition each Thanksgiving at the zoo. Breck, what are you serving up right now?
I'm serving up rain mainly, but starting to see a mixture of some snow. Let's take a look at UDOT traffic camera. This is along Mountain View Corridor, 78 South in West Jordan. Yeah, we're starting to see that change to snow. How long will the snow last? We're going to let you know after the break.
And later in sports, we'll glance ahead to what's next for BYU hoops. Mere minutes from now. Plus, Turkey Day means footy ball, lots of it. How would Utah State alum Jordan Love fare in his Thanksgiving debut for the Packers? Back in a bit.
We're taking you along with us on this Thanksgiving night in the Fox 13 Big O Tires Weather Beast. Okay, Rick right now tells us he's traveling 215 headed up toward Parley's Canyon, where you can see, Breck, that rain is changing over to snow. Light right now. It's not mounting to anything on the roads, but that could change throughout the night, right?
Oh, for sure. We're going to see snow falling, and we're waiting. Those temperatures are dropping, but we also have to see the temperatures drop at the surface. So at the road, that colder air taking its time to get through, it will start sticking, especially as you move through some of the canyons. So you need to be careful, as we've been saying. Canyon travel will be the most treacherous, but we are starting to see that snow in the valleys. Let me just show you.
Utah County.
Yeah, as we look in Utah County, American Fork right now, definitely have moved over into snow. We knew between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock that would be the case, and we're starting to see it through portions of the Wasatch Front, but everyone will start to see that snow here, especially over the next hour or so as temperatures are dropping. Now, a view right now from our Oquirrh Mountain camera, you can see the snowflakes. It's just, I don't know, I was trying to kind of, have to focus in on the snowflakes there. It's a little bit difficult here at this hour, and then it's clouds covering as well. So, but we're starting to see the snow falling as temperatures are dropping and getting closer towards freezing. It doesn't have to be exactly at freezing to see snow in the valleys. At 37, 38 degrees, we can definitely see that. As we'll see the snow here, looking at travel situation, northern, central into southwestern Utah. We are seeing snow in Bryce Canyon, kind of a mixture of rain and snow near Cedar City. It continues on here in the overnight hours and envelops more of the state central towards eastern Utah heading into Friday morning. The showers will continue on, focusing in more of the central to the southern end of the Wasatch Front as we head into the afternoon tomorrow and evening. Then it's eastern Utah getting the brunt of the storm, that colder air pushing through. Once we get past tomorrow night, we'll start to see some patchy fog, yes, especially over the higher terrain, maybe towards the Wasatch back, as we'll kind of clear things out going into Saturday. So it's really a Friday storm making its mark. Of course, that's a day of travel that we're coming home from Thanksgiving. Might want to delay that until Saturday if you're wanting to avoid any hazardous weather because it will be in play. Now, winter weather advisories highlighted all in purple as mentioned. We're starting to incorporate the central and southern mountains with that. Winter storm warning in effect though for Logan Canyon, Sardine Canyon, expecting to see more significant snowfall there. And wind advisories in place, those stronger easterly winds, a downslope wind event, especially near the canyons. We could see wind gusts in excess of 55 miles per hour. Now, let's talk about how much snow we're going to be looking at, especially over the next 24 hours. Kind of on a range as we've been looking at, anywhere between 5 to 10 inches, maybe in some locations we could be picking up a foot, but again, snow has already been falling. Now for the valley locations, most spots here along the Wasatch Front, less than an inch, a little bit more as we go from Nephi to Ephraim, down through Fillmore. As you can see in those areas, 1 to 3 inches like at Fillmore, but less than an inch in Richfield, 1 to 2 inches in Cedar City. We're not expecting to see snow in St. George, maybe a little bit in Kanab, but again, valleys, it's not a big snow producer. Mountains, different story, where again, some locations could be picking up a foot. Now we're seeing the activity here, especially across northern Utah. We've got the wet roads, a lot of rain currently, but it's quickly changing over into snow, so there could be some slushy conditions as you move from the benches up through the mountains as well. So looking at tomorrow morning, as it starts tonight, it will continue on a little bit of a break mid-morning, and then it's going to be on and off throughout the day, and then tapering off tomorrow night. So as we look at tomorrow's highs, it's going to be significantly colder. Temperatures in the 30s. 40s though in Ogden, turning towards eastern Utah, where again, as we move through the day, you're really going to see the precipitation focus throughout that area, as it's going to be mainly snow. The further south you go, could be a mixture of rain and snow in areas such as Moab down through Blanding. St. George, yes, we do see a chance of rain tomorrow. It's low 50s. And then it's clearing out, seeing some sunshine. It's cool on Saturday, slowly climbing back into the mid 50s as well. We'll see an extended break from the storms. Yes, that's good news in traveling for the weekend. Not good news though for valley inversion and haze. That will be quickly returning as we go to, between Monday and Tuesday, and some thicker haze Wednesday and Thursday. We'd like to see if we're going to be turning a corner and getting into a storm cycle to be bringing that snow to the mountains. We'd like to see more storms over the next 7 days, but again, we're going to get it tonight through tomorrow as that snow will be in place. So be careful in traveling tomorrow. Again, if you can delay until the weekend, that's what I would recommend.
I would say macaroni dressing. That's my favorite.
Mixed together or separately?
Separately.
Okay, so you got two favorites.
Yeah, two favorites.
Jazz guard Colin Sexton there on his favorite Thanksgiving dish. They don't play again until Saturday. The Jazz trying to snap out of a November funk. Meanwhile, 4-0 BYU laces up on my favorite holiday, though the Cougars haven't even started yet. They'll go in a few minutes against future Big 12 foe Arizona State at the Vegas Showdown.
I think we're really excited for every game. We get a chance to go prove that we're a good team. I think a lot of people think that we're not. I think a lot of people think that we're something else, and I think every single time we step on the floor, I think our group as a group is really excited to go, hey, this is a chance for us to go prove to people that we're good.
Despite losing by 24 last week at Arizona, Utah is nearly a 3-touchdown favorite to defeat Colorado this week at home. A regional conference game for the past 11 years. Utah has won 9 of those games, including the last 6. I asked Pac-12 analyst Chad Brown what he thinks about that large spread.
I was watching that game on Friday night, and the second quarter was the first time I saw the Buffs quit. Now, they came back in the second half and put up a little better fight, but they quit. So I think the guys in Vegas are recognizing that is a thread throughout this team right now, and that's probably not going to go away here in this last game against Utah. So that spread, unfortunately, as sad as it is to say, feels about right to me. Despite Utah's struggles on offense for a lot of the season, that still feels about right to me.
One college football game Thursday, former Roy and Corner Canyon QB Jackson Dart and Ole Miss at Mississippi State. It was a 3-0 game at the half, but the Rebels take the lead in the third. Dart's one and only touchdown coming in the fourth. He only had 96 passing yards, 26 of those here to Cade Prescorn. Ole Miss takes the Egg Bowl 17-7. The Detroit Lions have played 84 times on Thanksgiving Day, and despite dropping their last 6 Thursdays in November, they were definitely the favorite this morning against Green Bay following the franchise's best start in decades. Too bad for them, a former Aggie had perhaps his best game as a pro. Jordan Love trying to string together his first win streak as a starter. Good start in the Motor City, 10 yards for Jaden Reed. But take a look at the low angle. Watch how thin this window is. Not bad there. Jared Goff and company 8-2 coming in. Sam Laporta has it, but the Packers held on to the lead after the missed PAT. Love then finding the end zone again in the first. His tight end Tucker Kraft wide open. Green Bay adding 6 more on defense. Goff's pass ruled a fumble right here. Jonathan Owens on the 27-yard return. The Packers up 23-6 at the break with Love finding Christian Watson in the third. Heck of a haul, 29-22 the final.
That's what we want. We want to be able to start fast, put those points up early, help the defense out, and then go from there.
49ers have hit their stride again. Christian McCaffrey, back-to-back scores in the second, including a delayed hit through a late developing hole. What a run by McCaffrey. San Francisco adding a late Brock Purdy to Brandon Ayuk touchdown to rout the Seahawks 31-13 in Seattle. And the Cowboys were all over the Commanders. 4 touchdowns and 331 yards for Dak Prescott. Brandon Cooks the target there, and Dallas outscoring Washington 25-0 in the fourth, capped by this Deron Bland interception of Sam Howell for the 63-yard return. His 5th pick six sets an all-time single-season record, 45-14. We'll be right back.
From giving a hand to asking for one, the holiday season provides ample opportunity to show someone you care. Amanda Sansoni shares how some are spreading the love this Thanksgiving, and tonight's Take a Look at This.
The holidays are a time to give back.
Good morning.
And for Heidi Hansen, that means helping the homeless on the Las Vegas Strip.
Here's a snack and a hat and some gloves for you.
KVVU says she spent the past 6 years delivering care packages to people in need following a personal loss.
That's when I turned my life around and decided it was time to help people in a more positive way.
A small act making a big difference.
That's food, that's sugar, that's carbohydrates, that's protein that'll keep me going through the day. So I have my whole house in my backpack right now. So I'm just really grateful.
From one woman on a mission.
Have a nice day. Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
To a team of sharing chefs.
We're having turkey and then we're slicing some turkey.
On Thanksgiving Eve, WKMD reports that volunteers at Disney's Hollywood Studios prepared 1,000 meals for delivery to residents at the Coalition for the Homeless of Central Florida and Harbor House.
It feels good. I love it.
Performing a little Disney magic for those who need it most.
At the end of the day, it's just about caring for those around you.
While many show their love through food, this bold's boyfriend proved his with a traffic stop.
Any luck on that insurance at all?
When Troy Goldschmidt asked for some help popping the question to his partner Mariah, WQOW reports the Eau Claire Police Department came to the rescue.
So, yeah, there's something just kind of an issue with his license.
And instead of an arrest,
I love you so much. You're my best friend. I want to spend the rest of my life.
She said yes. For Take a Look at This, I'm Amanda Sansoni.
Surprise, surprise. Oh my goodness. I'll take seconds and thirds of all of that on this Thanksgiving night. Thankful for you guys, and thank you for watching. Quick Cast is next.